Welcome to another episode of Blonde in the Kitchen. Today my mom will be making a cheese Danish ring. To make this delicious pastry ring, we start by mixing our wet ingredients for the dough and adding our yeast to it and letting it rest for 10 minutes. We like to make the dough first because it needs time to rest. Now it's time to add the yeast. Once all of the wet ingredients are mixed together, we let our yeast rise for 10 minutes, and you'll see here just how much it grew in that time. Now you're at the last step of making your dough, and it's really simple. You just keep adding your flour. So what we have listed on our recipe is 5 to 6 cups of flour. And we say this because depending on the weather where you live, it might be a different amount. So for us, it was about 5.5 cups flour. But just to make sure, add 5, and then after that, keep adding until your dough is not sticky anymore. While the dough rests in a warm place, this is a good time to start preparing your filling so that it could sit in the fridge and cool. So for our raisins, we like to soak them in warm water. Sometimes we like to soak them in warm water with a little bit of rum, depending on the recipe. For this recipe, we just soaked it in warm water so that they plump up and so that they're not dry in the mixture. Another thing that we like to do is use vanilla sugar rather than vanilla extract for this filling, and that's because using vanilla extract would make this too loose. Once all of your ingredients for the filling are mixed together, you can just place this in the fridge until the dough is ready to be rolled and filled. To make the filling, the cheeses that we use are farmer's cheese and cream cheese. But if you can't find farmer's cheese, you could definitely buy cottage cheese and wring it out so that most of the moisture is gone. To get that pretty ring that you saw in the beginning of the video, what we do here is we roll our dough out to a big rectangle and to the thickness of 1/2 inch because it's going to rise more in our cake pan. After your dough is rolled out, take the bottom piece or the top piece, whichever you prefer, and cut it into a thin, long piece like this one here. We're going to fill that one with cheese. Once that's filled with cheese, we're going to lay it on a bed of a different piece of dough and butter it and add sugar to it, and then we'll add this piece with the cheese on it. My mom cut a piece just wide enough and long enough so that it fits the cheese piece that she made, and so that there's enough space to wrap the cheese piece. So now she's placing it on top of the buttered and sugared piece of dough, and she's going to butter this piece as well, as you see, and we're going to cut out strips on the sides so that they could wrap around in a pretty design. We cut each strip at around an inch thickness, and you could definitely cut it thinner if you'd like, or thicker. This part's really the most fun in my opinion. It's fun for kids to join in. Someone could make the big piece, another person could make the smaller one going in the middle. At this point, if you decide that you want to bake it like this, you definitely could. You don't have to make it a ring. It looks just as pretty if you bake it as a log. You can put it into a bread pan and it could rise up. There are so many different types of things you could do with this dough and this filling together. This step is definitely optional. You don't have to add anything into the middle of the ring. It just helps with creating that ring shape. And at this point, all you have left to do is brush this with egg, let it rest for 30 minutes, brush it again, and then place it in your oven at 350 degrees and let it bake until golden, like this. I want to thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to our channel if you've enjoyed, and leave a comment down below of your thoughts. I love this shot, it just looks so airy. My mom is about to drizzle some delicious honey that our wonderful friend brought back from Myrtle Beach. She went on vacation and was so sweet to think of us. It went well with the pastry, but we definitely did go overboard.
Yours truly, Blonde in the Kitchen.